Good morning, everybody, and it's an incredible day today. My name is Gary Fowler, and I am the host of RUNDAY Presents. Today, we have our incredible guest. My buddy Leon Eisen is a CEO and chairman. He's an inventor. He's a serial entrepreneur. Uh, he's a senator at the Grand Assembly of the World Business Angel Investment Forum. I mean, he's done so many things. He's a Ph.D. in physics from the Weizmann Institute of Science and studied entrepreneurship at Harvard Business School. He lives in Israel, is calling us all the way from Tel Aviv. He's got a background in quantum physics, but more importantly, he's an all-around good guy and knows how to build companies.
Yeah, thank you.
With that, I'd like to bring Leon on board. So how you doing today, Leon?
Very good. Thank you very much, Gary. Thank you for inviting me to your incredible show. And I like every time we are meeting, I am so happy. So I got some charge for the next couple of weeks. And that's thank you very
I got
much.
the same here, Leon.
You're like battery. You're like battery.
I feel like it's family hour. It's so great having you here. So tell us a little bit about your journey. So, you grew up in Russia, right? And you got your PhD. When did you immigrate from Russia over to Israel?
I immigrated in '99, and I landed in Weizmann Institute of Science because all my life I was a scientist. I was grown in scientist family. My father was scientist, professor. My brother is scientist. So actually, scientist is in my gene. And so I decided to do my PhD finally, and I got a good recommendations, and I landed in Weizmann Institute of Science in physics and specifically optics. And then I did my postdoctoral research in quantum computers and specifically laser cooling. So actually, I participated in one of the first tries of building quantum computer, at least foundation for quantum computers. So it's quite interesting.
So you talk about, we're talking about scaling 10x in 3 years. So let's talk about and then also I'd like you to share the story of how you came up with a quantum business thinking method for turbocharging growth.
Yeah, it's very interesting because all the story, like always, happening from myself. First of all, because I'm professional in quantum physics, I was before. Now, for the last 20 years, I am doing business. And because I spend a lot of time with quantum physics, and I understand that actually what we have to do, we have to create avalanche. It's everywhere in business, in life. So we have to create some nuclear chain reaction in order to have exponential growth. But how to do it in business? And quantum mechanics is actually it's a nature. This is based on the law of nature, and it should work. It should work everywhere because it's law of nature. So if you are doing something against such a law of nature, you can fail. So I start after the maybe how much 20 years of experience in business and building companies and helping other companies to build and to accelerate. I understood that something people lack of something and lack of understanding how really things work. And I started to teach people how really things work. And I found that first of all we have to start from ourselves. When we born, we got some perception. So we understand that fire is danger. And so we're living, we create some perception. And based on this perception, we have acquired world's view, how we view our world. And based on our view on the world, we have our beliefs. And based on beliefs, and beliefs transform into the value, and values transform into their principles. And we have the big principles like, okay, I'm honest all the time, so I never lie. It's the big principles. And there are some small principles we apply in some life situation. And then these principles lead us to behavior and to character. And this leads us finally to habits. And 95% of our life happens unconsciously. 95% through the day, we do not follow what we are doing. We're doing things automatically based on the habits. So it's very difficult to change yourself. It's very difficult to make some quantum leap in understanding what happens and how to work. So, and I started from changing some perception of our world. This is the most important. So it's very important to get through all these chain back and start to understand how we perceive our world. Either we perceive our world like something united or something separated, or we have super things coming together, or we just pick up only one thing based on our perception, specific perception and understanding and values that actually limit us very much in the business and in the life. So this is how I came to understanding that actually, if we're talking about quantum principles, these could be with some transformation applied to the real business. And based on these principles, we will talk about exactly these principles. I will give you some list explanation. We can understand how to manage not only business, but actually everything. And the most important foundation of these is that instead of thinking about how to control resources, we all like to control resources, right?
Right.
Based on our wrong perception of our world. You should shift your mentality to control processes. And quantum business thinking is all about controlling processes, how you build your processes. For example, you are going to prepare pizza, right? So you are going to make this pizza in a way that your client will be happy and totally satisfied. So you can think about pizza itself, or you can think about the process you are doing this pizza and deliver this pizza. So these two different approaches. And here we can talk about effectiveness and efficiency. So the first level is moving from controlling resources to controlling processes. And second level is to move from efficiency to effectiveness. And what's the difference? What actually efficiency? For example, my question to you: if I'm laying on the bed for a whole day, am I efficient? I don't spend any energy. Am I efficient? No, I'm
Yeah,
not.
well, it depends on what you're trying to do, right?
Yeah, but I'm laying on the bed watching TV. No, I don't spend any energy. Now, for example, you have Ferrari, and you have, I don't know, very efficient Ferrari. So it just accelerates for 2 seconds to 100 kilometers and eats very small amount of fuel for this. Very efficient, but it goes anywhere. No any goal. It just goes anywhere. So spend all this efficiency to go anywhere. This Ferrari is million times less efficient when I am laying in the bed without spending any energy. So efficiency, what is it efficiency? Efficiency is the ratio between output to input in unit of time. It's okay, we should be efficient. So efficiency is by mathematical language, it's a scalar. It should be some vector. And what is it vector? what is the direction where you apply your efficiency in order to reach some goal. This is effectiveness. So if we move from efficiency to effectiveness in all the business, we can win, and we can build the company for 3 years and grow it amazingly. And this is what quantum business thinking, I call it QBT, quantum business thinking. 8 principles. These enable to build efficiency. So effectiveness. So efficiency is all about doing things right, and effectiveness is doing right things. And this is the most important. So
How do
vector
you
and
know what to
scalar.
do is right and how to do, what the right things? How do you know?
Oh, this is where quantum business thinking helps a lot. So let's talk about 8 quantum business thinking principles. First principle, these principles exactly give you whole understanding what you should do. I can start from very simple example when we will come back to these 8 principles. For example, you are going to make some family dinner right at home, and you invited your family, but actually you forgot to buy some meals. So you have only a couple of pieces of chicken, you have a couple of steaks, you have a couple of something. And what normally we're doing, we put we just chop these in different slices and give everybody everything in small slices, right?
Right.
And what efficient? This is even not efficient. What is it effectiveness? What is it? What quantum business thinking is helping you? So you could learn about test priorities of each of your guests, and some guests like steak, another guest like potato, another guest like chicken. So you have to give to one guest potato, another guest chicken, another guest steak. Everybody is happy. They got what they want. They got what they like. And this is fundamentals of the marketing, of the business, of the sales. And this is how you could apply quantum business thinking to understand that all these things happen at the same time. We have superposition of things. We don't have something, one single thing. All superposition exist. So we take quantum business thinking principle that is called superposition. So multiple things you can explore at the same time. And then you define these multiple things. You can define this in the market, you can define this in the deals, you can have thousands of deals, and then you apply principles called uncertainty age, because you
What is that
somehow
again? What is that again, Leon? Uncertainty what?
uncertainty age.
Age.
Uncertainty age, I
Mhm.
call this principle. Something that you cannot predict. So what are you doing? You wait on likelihood of each outcome. So you take, for example, 10 outcomes that exist at the same time, and you apply some probability technique, and you understand which outcome is much more probable than others. And based on this outcome, you decide. And here, effectiveness is coming, because what is it, effectiveness? If you remember, efficiency is a ratio between output to input in the unit of time. And effectiveness is a ratio of outcome to resources for a whole period of time, not unit of time. So as less you spend resources, as you're and coming to your results, as more effective you are. And so your probability of the outcome based on this formula, how to get to your result with less energy spent. And as you know, our nature is built, all the nature is built on the principle to spend as less energy, so to make us as small work as possible. Energy is all about work.
Yeah.
So this is, for example, take another principle is complementarity. So, for example, your company can use different technology. So I was working in many startups. So they come to me and say, you know what we have to do? We have to choose or between using, I don't know, Monday.com, HubSpot, or other technology. But each technology has some drawbacks. I didn't find any technology that fits all my requirements. So what I have to do? I have to use complementarity of this technology. I have to think this way, how to I can connect different technology and build something what I really can use. And this is very important. So, or interdependency principle that is based on quantum entanglement. As you know, if you take two particles from one atom and send them in two edges of our universe, they feel each other immediately. People got Nobel Prize 2 years ago about it. They proved that reality doesn't exist because it's even not speed of light. It's just immediately they feel each other on such great distance. So distance actually doesn't exist. So here the same in the company. You can manage the company in separate departments. So today I meet with this department, tomorrow I meet with this department. But actually what you have to do based on quantum business thinking, you have to understand interconnections of all departments, because decision made in marketing department immediately influence on product department or on sales department. And you have to understand these interconnections of business functions and manage this process, again, not resources, process correctly. Another principle is called based on measurement, quantum measurement. As you know, if in quantum measurement, if we apply some measurement, we make collapse of the wave function. So wave function is something like, if you make a photo.
So if we do collapse of the measurement, we do what? Did you say again?
We collapse wave function. What does it mean? For example, you make a photo of moving car. And when you see the photo, your image is blurring. You don't know exactly where is the car because you have blurring image. And this is all about, so we call it wave function. You don't know where your car is located. It's distributed somehow in space. But now, if you take the camera with high-speed camera, you can fix this. And this is we call measurement. You fix exact location. You don't have blurring image. And this is the same in there. There is similar if we're talking about, I call it influence of action. Immediately as you act on something, you got the feedback. You collect this feedback correctly. And you can apply other principles like superposition, because you can collect many things at the same time. Or interdependence, you understand how these things connected with each other. And you can understand what result of your action and how to predict, even more, how to predict result of your action based on quantum business thinking. This is all about thinking correctly, right? Or, for example, that again, back to complementarity. Here we are talking about diversity. It's very important. It's a very important subject today, diversity. So how many people in your team complement each other, how they construct whole brain thinking, so-called. There is an amazing book by Herman. He wrote about whole brain thinking. So he put some 4 quadrants on different people's archetype. And this is all about diversity of cultures, diversity of thinkings, diversity of talents, of professions, of everything. And if you apply this, that's very important. And all this stuff has superposition. So these principles interconnected as well. Another principle, for example, pushing through the boundaries. This is all about innovation. How to think, how to innovate, how to think out of the box. So actually, everybody uses these principles because this is based on their nature. But we use these principles unconsciously. We apply them randomly. We do not give thinking on what we're doing. But if you make order of all these principles and put in specific way how to think step by step, you will recognize that you're doing something consciously. So you know exactly what you're doing. It doesn't happen unconsciously.
No, I think you're right on target with it, Leon. Listen, we're coming up to the top of the show. What are your closing thoughts, and how do people get a hold of you?
Are we finishing already?
Yeah, we're
Okay. Okay. So first of all, they're welcome. My friends, you are welcome to visit my website, leoneisen.com, and learn more about this technology. And also, you can reach me through LinkedIn, website, and I have my podcast in the YouTube. By the way, Gary, I would love to have you on my podcast.
Yeah, sure. Whatever you want.
I actually have 2 podcasts. Intelligent Founder, where I interview amazing founders. And by the way, almost all the founders I interviewed so far succeeded to raise money. So I pick up very, very important people. Yeah. And another podcast, I'm talking with actors. It's called After Insights. So I'm talking with very nice actors who are not on the top. So they didn't somehow but they're very interesting. So I try to help these actors to deliver the message to as more people as possible. So YouTube, LinkedIn, and my website.
Okay, YouTube, LinkedIn, and website. Leon, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us here today for RUNDAY Presents. To all my audience out there, my name is Gary Fowler, and I am the host of RUNDAY Presents. Check out RUNDAY.AI, an incredible company that's using generative AI in a way to be able to turbocharge those companies, to help you to move forward, to be able to do better customer service and sales, to be able to do things using the latest technologies to make your job easier and better. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. Stay happy, stay safe, and stay healthy. And I'll be back to you again soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Gary.
Yep. Bye-bye.